Okay, so tomorrow we're going to be going over inequalities. And usually when I ask my students what's an inequality, they usually have no idea until we start throwing these symbols out there. These are called inequalities. Less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. Okay, so very simply we're just going to put them in the right spots. So we have -3 is less than 0. We have 5 is greater than or equal to -5, or we could just have greater than in there too. And then this one's always a tricky one. Is -4 greater than or less than -6? And in this case, it's actually less than. Actually, I take that back. It's greater than. And it seems kind of funny because 4 is a smaller number than 6. But when you're talking negatives, you're talking about -4 away from the 0 to the left, and this is 6 away, so this one's farther away from our number 0. Or I like to think about it as money. Would I negative, so owing money, would I rather owe $4 or would I rather owe $6? Well, of course I'd rather owe $4 because that has more value than the -6. Okay, so inequalities, greater than, less than. Okay, the inequality is a mathematical sentence that uses an inequality symbol to compare the values of two expressions. Okay, so we're going to be graphing some number lines tomorrow, and we have the open circle and the closed circle. So hopefully you might remember from last year that if you have an open circle, that would mean that it does not include that number. Okay, so open circle does not include. Oh my goodness. Okay. The closed circle, it's filled in, means it would include that number. So for that one, we say it does include. Okay. So if I took this expression right here and I want to graph it on this number line that says x, and x can be any number. So it says x is greater than 3. So we'll make our number line here. There's 0. And then we have 1 and 2 and 3. So it says it's greater than 3. So that means any number is bigger than 3, not including 3. So I put an open circle above the 3 and draw it to the right. And you may notice the greater than sign sort of looks like it's an arrow pointing to the right, and that kind of helps remind me which way to go. So that's 3, we'd have 4, 5, 6, all the way up to infinity, really. What could be put in for this x value? So if I took 6, I could replace x with the 6. Is 6 greater than 3? Yes, it is. That's true. But also remember, this includes everything in between the 3 and the 4, and the 4 and the 5, and the 5 and the 6. So 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, and so on. Okay? On the flip side, let's just say that this expression right here had an equal to sign underneath that greater sign. So it's greater than or equal to. So again, we would have our number line here. There's 0, and then 1, and 2, and 3. But this says greater than or equal to, so we want to do the solid dot because it is 3 and higher. Okay, so we can put any number past that 3. So is 3 greater than or equal to 3? Is that a true statement? Yes. How if I put 3.1, 3.2, 5.6, those all fit within that statement. Okay, so if I have this one, we have less than and equals to. So that equals to tells me that I'm going to need this solid point. And then it's less than, and remember, if it looks like, as long as the variable is on the left, you can use this as like an arrow. That's going to go that direction. Okay, so we'll have 0, and then this is -1. And it says including, so we can take this dot and put it up here. And then we can take a line, and we know it's going to go less than. So it's going to go down that way, because those numbers are getting smaller and smaller, right? Because that's going to be -2 and -3 and so on. And if you're not sure, pick any of those numbers and put them in. If I put in -6, is -6 less than or equal to -1? Sure is. Okay. And, oh, I had a number line there. Oops, there we go. So just a real brief reminder that inequalities are the greater than less than sign. And obviously this would be an open circle, open circle, right? Because if it has the equals to sign, that's the closed symbol, right? So this would be a closed circle when I did my number line. This does not include 0. So open circle and open circle. Isn't that great drawing? Sad drawing, bad circle. All right, so tomorrow I want you to be prepared for when I ask you what an inequality is. And then I want you to be able to tell me which direction those lines are going to go. And then we're going to be doing some equation work with inequalities. Have a good evening.